Hi, I'm Jamie Salazar. Whenever my mom told me I was going to camp, I wasn't really like, woo, excited about it. I was kind of like, eh. But really, whenever I was going, I didn't really know like the impact of it, what it was gonna like have on me. Because whenever I was going to camp, I had so much hate, unforgiveness, anger built up inside of me that I was just like, okay, whatever, I'm just gonna go and come back home. That's it. I'm gonna be the same person, so it doesn't really matter. The first night, I had a big old impact on my life. Like, it was an eye opener. The pastor was up there and he was like, if you have guilt, unforgiveness, and anger built up, he was saying everything that was on my list. And I was just like, no, I was like, I'm not gonna go. I was like, I was very hesitant of going. I was just like, it's kind of like, I was like, and I felt a little nudge, just say go. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go, get prayed for, and then come right back and be me. Little did I know, whenever I got up there, it was gonna be like, whoa. And I'm just standing there and I'm just praying. I'm like, God, I was like, I kind of tested it a little bit. I was like, if you're real, you will send somebody to me that will know exactly what I'm going through. And she's like, have you been prayed for? And I was like, I have not. She was praying for me. Like, I was just like, whoa, because she was saying everything that was going on. And I was just like, okay. And then I was crying. Like, it was nonstop crying. Like, I could not stop crying. And I think what really got me was towards the end, she goes, Jesus wants me to tell you that you're loved by him and that he's still waiting for you no matter what. And I broke. I was like, okay. And I was just like, I'm going to give this another chance. I was like, okay. Second night comes and it's like, they start talking about hatred. And I was just like, okay. And I have hate, and I had a lot of hate in me. Like, I hated literally everybody that was with me. I was just like, I don't want to see you good on my face. That's really was my attitude. I go to the front and I'm like, I have hatred. I was like, I literally have so much hate in me with everybody. With old friends that I had, with family. And I was like, I just want it off at this point. I was like, I'm tired of living in this hate and pushing people away that loved me the most. And they were like, do you believe that this would break? And I was like, I do. It broke. I have no hate. I finally was able to forgive all those people that hurt me. And I was able to sleep that night. Like, I felt like I got a full rest of sleep. And this night was really about who I am in Christ. I knew who I was. I've known Jesus for a long time. And I'm just like, I'm a child of God. But I didn't believe it. Like, I was just like, that's just what I've always been told. I surrendered everything that night. I was like, I'm done. I was like, the devil has no hold on me no more. It's time for him to go. And I surrendered everything that night. That night, I ended up getting my prayer language. I was excited. I've been told this multiple times that my hands would be used for healing. I was praying for people and I was having God move through me. One girl, her one foot was longer than the other one, and her legs were growing. They grew, and I was like, backs were being healed that night and everything, and I was just like, whoa. And then close to bedtime, I was on a bunk bed and I was fixing to go to bed, and I fell off the bunk bed. I had sprained my ankle really bad that night, and it hurt. I was crying, and I was just like, okay. I got taken to the hospital that night. I got back to camp probably like 4:30, so I got like an hour and a half of sleep. I was in boots and crutches. I had got a whole diagnosed of what was wrong with my foot, and I'm praying and I'm like, this is not gonna stop me from praising you, God. I was like, yeah, I'm in a boot and I can't move the way I want to move, but this is not from you. I know who it's from the devil, but I'm not gonna have him take this away. Immediately I felt my foot shift in my boot, and I felt it all rotate back into place. And I grabbed Angela and I'm like, I need to take this boot off, like my boot. And so I start undoing it and everything. And as I'm undoing it, I took off my sock. There was no swelling, no bruising, no nothing. And I was like, I'm gonna get up. And I got up and I'm able to walk on it, jump on it, and everything that night and that morning. And I was just like, wow. And I was like, my foot is completely healed. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, I was jumping. Like, I was like, I don't know what to feel at this moment. And that night comes, I still have this anger and this hate that's built up in me. Like, I want it out, but there's a part that's holding on to me. That night I got delivered. For me, it was a little scary because I was like, whoa, what is going on with me? I was like, what is going through my body? And so I was just like, okay. But I finally at the end was able to just let it all go. And I was just overfilled with so much joy that night. The fourth night was really good too. The big impact of what camp was. I knew I was struggling with some stuff inside, but I wouldn't let it out. And I'm like, I need to let it go. I'm struggling so bad with suicidal thoughts, depression, anxiety, addiction. Everything that you could feel was just going through my body, and I was like, and I want it out. They started praying for me, and my body was literally the devil was putting me to sleep that night. It was like they were praying for me, and I would just keep falling, and I was just like, I'm not gonna give up on this battle. It's like, no matter how hard this devil's trying to make this not happen, I'm gonna fight here, even if I have to sit here all night. I'm gonna get it out of me. They broke everything, suicidal thoughts, everything was just gone that night. I was like, my mind was completely cleared of everything that was going on in it. God spoke, and they were like, there's something still in you that you're struggling with, but you won't say because you're scared of it. They finally told me, they're like, is it your sexuality? And I was like, I was very scared, and I was like, to be honest, yes, it is. And I was like, I wanted it out, but I was so ashamed of the hatred that I would get if I asked for help, the shame that I would get looked at for. I let it all out, and I was like, I'm done. These thoughts of me being gay and everything, they're gone. I'm now gonna find someone that's gonna be a loving husband to me. And that night I gave my life back to Christ, and then that Sunday I got baptized again, and I was just like, okay. I mean, I've had challenges ever since I've got home, but I'm like, no, it's time for me to change and not go back to what I was at. And I mean, I've lost friends, lost family because of it. What I tell myself is, those people that I'm losing, God is just gonna gain more people into my life. You're not in this battle alone. You might feel like you're fighting a wall, but you're not. You're gonna have God right there with you every step of the way. Even if you don't think he's there, you just have to turn to him and be like, God, I need help. I can't fight this battle anymore by myself. I'm ready to finally give it to you and let you take over this battle. People that struggle with suicide and addiction and all the stuff that most teenagers our age that struggle with, it's okay to speak about it. It really is. And I'm like, for the longest time, I thought if I speak about it, I'm gonna look like a loser. But ever since I've spoke about it, I mean, I've got the help I needed. Especially, I've had Jesus by my side no matter what. There's a Bible verse that I always look to whenever I struggle with those thoughts or anything, which is Philippians 4:13, which is, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. If you haven't gave your life to Christ yet, I highly, highly recommend that you do it, because that was the best decision that I've ever made. And I'm here to say that I'm now walking freely of all those thoughts and everything, and that they have never came back ever since.